This is a neat time of year in the bat world because bats from all across the landscape are filtering back to the places where they spend the winter. So at this location, we're doing what's called a fall swarm survey. This is a property on a wildlife management area in northern New Jersey where we have an abandoned mine system that we don't go inside. So what we're doing is we're using mist nets and harp traps set up throughout this little area of woods. This is one here. It's called a triple high net that goes up about 20-25 feet in the air and spans across a foot trail so that bats that are moving up and down the foot trail will not detect the net as they're flying through, and they'll get caught and allow us to handle them to identify what species they are, whether they're adults or juveniles, males, females. We also have one other device called a Harp Trap set up outside the portal to the abandoned mine shaft, which again, we don't enter that anymore. We've got a lot of recaptured bats that we've seen during the survey in previous years. Occasionally, we'll even see bats that originated from other places that might have been captured during the summer and have returned now to the spot where they'll spend the winter. They're doing a couple important things this time of year. They're fattening up on bugs. They're also mating, so they're pretty social this time of year. So we're trying to capture bats to basically get a read on population trends of different species that hibernate here. So far tonight, we've captured about 10 of the federally endangered Indiana bats. And this is the only place in New Jersey where we have a decent population of these bats. Most of them have been previously banded individuals. I'll have to look up the band numbers later to see exactly when they were first captured, but I think they date back to around 2011 or 12, which is really exciting to see. These bats are highly vulnerable to the white nose syndrome disease. So we've seen a pretty dramatic decline in some of the bat species over the years. Fortunately, it looks like we're starting to see a bit of a leveling off. So we're hopeful that we'll have a good survey this season and start to see some of their numbers rising again.